What's up guys, it's Roger, and today we're playing some more Trials of Osiris, of course this weekend on Meltdown. Sorry that this build video is coming a little bit later in the weekend, but hey, you can always use these build videos in 6s or wherever you want to, competitive, in the game. They work everywhere, but I just show them off to you in Trials because that's what I mainly play. Now, all that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and start breaking this build down. Now, over here you're going to see I went for the Gemini Jesters, an exotic that I like quite a bit, but I haven't used for quite a while. It has Misdirection as its armor perk down here. That's going to let you disorient enemies when you dodge. You can do this through walls, and it actually does a little bit of damage technically, so you can use this on enemies and dodge, let your teammates go in and pick up the kill, and you'll get the assist for it, which is a very easy way that you can charge things such as super energy, so keep that stuff in mind, but it's also just an easy way that you can pop this and then push your enemies with a lot of gusto. Now, if you want to help that gusto out, you'll need some good armor mods. Pretty simple stuff. We have kinetic and solar targeting and unflinching mods. I like to make orbs of power in PvP, so you're going to see I'm doing that with the firepower, the heavy-handed, and the Reaper mod. Pause at any point if you need to read any of these mods more in depth, but essentially if we get a kill with our melee, our nade, or after using our dodge for 10 seconds, we can get a kill with our actual weapons. We can spawn orbs of power, pick those up with absolution, orbs of restoration, or enervation, and that will give us ability energy back. We also have on 2 bomber mods. 2 bomber mods nowadays is going to give us 17% of our grenade energy back every time we use our dodge. Now, after those, we need some good weapons to go along with it, and that's where the Igneous Hammer Adept comes in. Of course, it's one of my favorite weapons in the entire game. I already have 600 kills on this thing since it came back into the game. Keep Away and Eye of the Storm is my preferred god roll. Little handling masterwork, I'd prefer if this was like a range masterwork, or stability honestly would be really nice, but this thing gets the job done quite well, just like the Multi-Mock CCX does. I have 999 kills on this thing because I was frying with it this weekend. I don't like shotgunning on this map that much. I think there's too many apes, especially with the conditionals, and this weekend is filled with cheaters, so I just went ahead and put on a multi-mock because people are aping at me. I just spray them down with an SMG. It's just kind of one of those like easy counters you can do sometimes. You can see here I have Model 8 Red, Flared Magwell, Threat Detector, and Iron Reach, so this thing has 62 range. It feels absolutely amazing. Pretty simple and usual stuff here on our Arc Strider. Of course, we have the Gathering Storm on. We have on Marksman's Dodge, so we can reload our weapons with that, and then we have on Blink. If you want to be a little hoppy boy, you can, but me personally, I'm a Blink master, so I blink around with my builds. Over here, we have on Combination Blow, but this does not matter too much in this build. What really matters is going to be over here because we have on Tempest Strike, so when we start sliding we can use a nice little line of arc energy that will hit our enemies, it'll jolt them, and it can kill them pretty easily. It is 125 damage. That will make us amplified, which of course goes into our flow state here, which we get a bunch of extra benefits to our amplified with that on. Now after that we do have on Pulse Grenades. These are really good for holding down a bit of an area, and they can do a good amount of damage too, and they can hold res as well. On top of that I have on Spark of Magnitude, which makes that Pulse Grenade last a longer time. We also have on Spark of Haste, which gives us plus 30 to our resilience, recovery, and mobility when we sprint for a few seconds. I have 5 mobility, but I have a lightweight frame weapon on with my multi-mock. That takes us to 70, and then this takes us to 100, so don't worry, this plus your amplified means you have your dodge up all the time. After that we have on Spark of Ion, so when we do defeat a jolted target, then we do get an Ionic Trace for even more ability energy, and then last but not least, for even more ability energy, we have Spark of Recharge, so when we are critically wounded, we get melee and grenade energy back. Hopefully I was able to explain everything there well enough for you guys, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comment section or join the Blinkville Discord server. I'm going to have it linked in the top right and in the description. Now, with that being said, if you enjoyed the video at any point today, you want to leave me a like or subscribe, I would very much appreciate that. But if all you have to give me is just a simple view today, then I just appreciate that as much as anything else. All that being said, I think we're ready to get in this gameplay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and blink on into it. Now, coming in this weekend, I didn't know what to expect. You never know what you're going to get in any given weekend of Trials. Miraculously, sometimes it's just an amazing weekend, right? And you have so much fun. There's not many cheaters online. Well, the thing is, that's not going to be this weekend. This weekend was full of cheaters, and it's really unfortunate. But I was glad that I picked a fun build like this. You can see a round like this is a perfect good example to show you right off the bat. I went in and looked for any picks I could get, any fights I could take with my Igneous Hammer. I didn't see any. So what I did was, after throwing my nade, blinked forward, was able to instantly slap somebody. I then used my dodge. It removed the enemy's radars, right? So now they're completely disoriented. They don't know what's happening. They don't know where I am, because then I can drop to a new position. And that's what you need to remember with Gemini Jesters. People talk about this exotic sometimes, and they do realize how good it is, but I feel like overall people don't really have the best idea of it. So let me break it down how you want to use this exotic. You want to go in, get around a wall from an enemy, and then use your dodge. That's going to misdirect the enemies. once you have them misdirected, you need to change your position as quickly as possible. The entire strong point of Gemini Jesters is that you're taking away the ability for the enemy to see where you are on your radar. That's going to make them rely completely on things like game sound and game sense to see where you're going to be. But when they can't see you on that radar, most enemies crumble. I don't know what it is. Well, I think I do know what it is. We have such a reliance in this game on the radar. You could say an over-reliance, but I don't think it is an over-reliance because you should be looking at your radar a lot of the time. 80% of the time, if you're not in a gunfight, your eyes should be drifting between the middle of the screen looking for enemies and that radar because you need to know where people are so you know what your next course of action is going to be. But look at this. I go in, now he's misdirected. He made a good guess, right? He thought I was going to slide to the left, so he did too when he challenged me there. Unfortunately, I had better shots than him, so I was able to take him out. But the fact is, he didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I could have easily gone to the right. I could have easily blinked up above him onto the hop-up, and he would have had to use his other senses to figure out where am I going because he loses the radar. And Destiny players, like I'm telling you, freak out when they lose that radar. So like right here, I'm like, okay, they don't have radar anymore. I take him out, but you need to remember it doesn't last very long, but even with the radar gone and my blink, I was able to get behind that guy and take out a second one. Now my teammates are hot dog trash, which is like a pretty common thing you'll see, which, you know, hot dog trash can be nice sometimes if you're into that shit. It's not really my cup of tea, but if you are, then you should take my random teammates because I think you'll find yourself quite abused. Now, all that being said, it's a very simple gameplay loop with your Gemini Jesters. You go in, you take those radars, and then you instantly try to reposition yourself as quickly as you can to surprise your enemies and take them out fast. And that's basically all you're trying to do. Besides that, the rest of the build is pretty simple. You're going to be using your pulse grenade here, like I said earlier. It's going to last a longer time because of that fragment we have on. So when you do have that extra fragment time, what you want to do is use it to cut off areas, to hold down reses, and most importantly, do some damage if you can. If you can misdirect an enemy and then get around them like I am right here, I don't use my nade in this round, but if I wanted to, if I had my nade up, for instance, I could have thrown it at the door in front of me that's to my left right now, and then I could have blinked around to the door that I actually killed that guy at. That would have cut off some area and confused him even more, because while they don't have their radar, anything that happens on their screen, such as a nade going off, is going to attract their attention. Destiny players are basically like a deer in the headlights. You know, they're like a bear in the woods. When they hear a fucking twig snap, their head turns on a swivel. That's all they can think of. Any noise, any visual clutter in a Destiny player's eyes is going to immediately alert them. And it really is your little monkey brain turning on. We've had millions of years of human evolution. Have we been on it hundreds of thousands? I don't know. I'm not a freaking scientist. The point is we've had a lot of human evolution that's going, hey, you hear noise, fight or flight. Ooh, you pick fight in D2. Yeah, you're going to react to something like that. And these kids do. And that's why it's so important to take away their radars, take away that information. And it's just a really fun playstyle overall too. There is another way you can use a build like this. I didn't use a shotgun obviously this weekend. Like I told you in the intro, there's a lot of cheaters, so I think an SMG is going to be a better choice for you. But if you do want to use a shotgun, what you can do is go towards a wall and then dodge, take the enemy's radars away. Make sure instead of Tempest Strike, what you're using is Lethal Current. That dodge is going to proc your Lethal Current, and then you can blink on top of them while their radars are gone and easily take them out with a melee and your shotgun combined. So you can play it that way with this build if you want to. I've made builds in the past with that. If I can find one, I'll put it on the end screen because I know I've done a few of them like that. But this weekend, I thought the SMG was the better play, and I will definitely back that up after playing this whole weekend out even more. It was the right play because it's just not the best stuff. I really do like the reload dodge. I usually don't use it because I'm usually using that Lethal Current dodge near an enemy combination blow type of combo, but here I went for this instead, and I very much do enjoy it. You can see there with the actual Tempest Strike, it does have good tracking. It can track pretty well, and you're saying, Roger, it didn't even hit that guy there. Good job, fucking Sherlock Holmes, you really investigated that one. Sorry, I don't know why I'm being mean to you, I just go with me. It has really good tracking, but it doesn't have perfect tracking, which I think is good. It's a balanced ability in that aspect. But you gotta remember it's doing 125 damage and jolting. It has a lot of good stuff going for it. People sleep on it a lot, but we also have to remember it did just get buffed. At the beginning of this season, Tempest Strike did get buffed. And before that, I almost never used it because it just didn't really hold a candle to Lethal Current. So I was like, why would I use this over Lethal Current? It just didn't really make sense to me, but nowadays I'm telling you guys, they're not on an equal playing field. Lethal Current is still definitely better than Tempest Strike, but you are not in a bad state if you go for Tempest Strike now. It's a good ability, it's a solid ability, it can clap people up. Just keep watching the gameplay. I think I might have a few more clips where it actually does some good stuff. And also make sure you are subscribed and ready for tomorrow's gameplay. I'm going to be doing a god roll review on the Adept Eye of Soul that I got a few weekends ago, and I use my Blink Hunter while I'm doing that video, and I show off a build that is using the Tempest Strike in it because I'm using a sniper and an SMG, and the Tempest Strike is perfect in a build like that. I think I use it right here. Yes, look at this. Oh, it didn't. No, it did some damage there, I'm pretty sure. And then I just smack these guys up. Ooh, beautiful tracking on that. And then I blink out really quick because, you know, I'm low health and I look around, I see my teammate is dead. The smartest thing I can do is go ahead and res him really quickly and then get it back to my first teammate as quick as possible so I can start helping him. He's holding down pretty well with his aim, but I realize we can just start capping as well. I hit a nice 2-tap and take that guy out. I throw my nade forward so I can cut off some area and hopefully hold down reses, but I did not quite throw it far enough. Didn't matter though because I was able to blink in, easily use my SMG and take out the last guy. And that's kind of the gameplay loop that you're looking for this weekend. See what kind of picks you can get with your ranged weapons such as a 120, a pulse, or a sniper, and then after that use something like a shotgun, an SMG, or a sidearm, even a 140 hand cannon for instance, and go in closer and start taking the enemies out in that range instead. That's what you're trying to look for this weekend, and that's what this map really offers you. Now I will kind of take a pause and talk about the cheaters this weekend. There has been a metric butt ton of them. I put out a community post the other day. Make sure you are like looking at my community posts every now and again. I think I'm going to start making them weekly if I can and just asking people, what do you think of trials this weekend? Because I genuinely do like to hear people's opinions on what they think of trials on every certain weekend, because it helps me know if I'm thinking of the weekend correctly or if I'm just being a little bitch, right? I like to know that kind of stuff. And this whole weekend I was thinking, this weekend is ridiculously full of cheaters. I can't play the game because all the ability spam. This weekend sucks. That's how I felt. That's genuinely how I felt. And I wanted to know if I was based in that or not. So I made a community post, hundreds of votes, 70% of people I believe it's at right now were like, yeah, no, this weekend is worse than most, which is saying a lot because trials is usually booty cheeks anyways. And on top of that, they all went in the comment section because I said, if you think it's worse, tell me why. I want to know your opinions on why you think it's worse. And people let me know. And it was the same thing. They said, I can't take gunfights because it's all just ability spam. And on top of that, it's full of cheaters. Yeah, that's about what I expected. That's what I'm dealing with. And while I don't want my viewers or anybody else in the community to have to deal with that stuff too, at the same time, there's a bit of solemn, enjoyment to know that you're not the only one dealing with that BS. So I appreciate anyone who did a vote on that community poll and left a little comment telling me, you're not alone, Rodder. I'm dealing with the same BS that you are. Because it really did open my eyes to be like, okay, good. I know now that other people are dealing with this same exact silly stuff. Really good around here, by the way. I used that misdirect on that last guy and just pack those first guys. Ooh, beautiful stuff. So yeah, it's good to know the community is all kind of like on the same page. I think I might make a video in a couple days kind of using those replies that I got to that community poll. So if you do want to be part of that video, maybe go ahead and leave a reply on that community poll of why you think this weekend was worse, because I'm thinking of compiling some of those comments and kind of doing a little like breakdown of the weekend and the current meta in general and what the problems with it mainly are. So if you'd like to see a video like that, leave me a comment, let me know. And if you want to be maybe part of that video, then also leave a comment either on this video saying what you think was wrong with this weekend or on that community poll like I told you, because I would really appreciate that stuff and it would just help me make that video to the best of my ability. I will say now, I do apologize if I'm not making as many like funny jokes or saying bussy enough in this video like I usually do. I've just played trials a good amount for the past 3 days. Went 3 stacks the whole night tonight with my friends, and it really just drained me. And if you think there's a lot of cheaters just in regular trials like duo queuing or solo queuing, if you didn't play any threes, bless your fucking soul, because they are 90%, and I'm not even being, hyperbolic here, 90% of the teams you're running against in threes this weekend are straight up just cheater stacks. It's been insane the whole night, and man, it really wore me down. I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun when I'm just playing with my friends. I love doing that. That's why I can still enjoy trials. Good pulse grenade here, by the way. You see this pulse grenade actually doing work on these two. But even though I have fun, messing around with my friends and making jokes and stuff, the game really takes it out of you, especially weekends like this. It really just drains you because that you're playing well, you know that you're playing better than most people, and they're just getting the edge on you because of BS, because of lag, because of latency, because of soft cheats, because of hard cheats, because of complete meta abuse. Pick your poison, really. We have 50 different flavors and they're all shit. It just sucks. Nice little Tempest Strike play right there. You can see what I mean by how good that ability really can be. It goes straight through Threaded Spectre, so there's a little interaction for you right there in case you hate Threaded Spectres like me. Well, then you can have a little bit of a counter to it with your Tempest Strike. But yeah, so I'm just a little tired right now, but I really wanted to get this video out to you guys, so I just was like, you know what, I might be tired, but whatever, let's go ahead and record this so I can get you guys out hopefully a nice solid video. Yo, shout out to Chili right now too. Bro was messaging me. This kid's awesome. He's been in my clan forever. He's a mod on my server. Fucking shout out Chili. But we are in the last clip here, so I do have to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys, and as always, have a great day, Guardians.